are doing hygiene, Amy and I, and then Carrie, we saved you the best, which is sanitation. You'll find out why. Anyway, so let's start right over here. Basically, the main point that I want to make here is you want to keep everything as clean as possible. You do want to avoid disease. There's a saying that says, disease outbreak is the second disaster after a disaster. So make sure everything is clean. So right over here, thanks to the Robinsons, they brought their water station, but this is also another water station. This one works really good. We used it, I can't remember how many years ago it was, back in Trek. But you also actually have a pump that you can pump your water in, and it works quite well. As you can see over here, you do have your paper towels. Paper towels are your number one thing when it comes to keeping things clean. Make sure you're using soap and water. There are other things you can do also. Of course, you've got your cloth towels, but there again, you're going to have to end up washing those. So make sure you use your paper towels first. And Amy will talk more on how to dispose of those. There are other things when it comes to preserving the water because you are in a disaster. Baby wipes work really well. COVID sanitizers work really good. Make sure it's 60% alcohol base. And then as you work your way over, don't forget your normal habits when it comes to hygiene, like brushing your teeth. And then when it comes to bathing, Mike kind of filled me in a little bit here because he's actually used one of these. You can hang, this is a bathing shower, and it's what they call a solar shower because the sun heats it up, and it is black. Mike does say it works quite well when it comes to warming up that water inside, but make sure you have it pretty high up because otherwise, as you can see down here on the bottom, you have a little spout here. You want to make sure that's high enough so you're not on your knees or you're sitting down. As you work yourself out, it's not work yourself out, but as you work yourself down, make sure you keep in mind your clothes also have to be clean. So you're not going to have your washer and dryer, you're not going to have any kind of electricity or gas or whatever. So what you want to do is you want to do it the old-fashioned way. What you want to do is get 2 of these 5-gallon buckets. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your clothes in there. Let's just take these right here. You're going to put those in there, put some soap in there, and guess what? This is your plunger. And as you can see here, you're going to plunge that 2 dozen times to wash those clothes. So 2 dozen times. Up and down, up and down. As you finish up with that, what you're going to do is take the other bucket that's going to have just your clean water, and you're going to put your clothes in there, and you're going to do it 2 dozen more times to rinse those clothes off. Then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to do it grandma's way. You're going to have to dry those somehow, so therefore what you're going to do, end up taking your clothesline. I'm sure maybe some of y'all have seen one of these, but this is your clothesline, and you're going to hang up all your clothes, and voila, the sun's going to end up drying those clothes. So I am going to turn the rest of the time over here to Amy, and she'll talk about the rest.
Just another thing that you might not think about is if we don't have any garbage pickup, what are you going to do with all your garbage? And you want to make sure to be really wise and not let your garbage pile up. And so you can separate usable and non-usable trash. So you could think about, you could reuse like oil, clean it and reuse it. You could also, and then you also need to separate like garbage, which is biodegradable hazards, like your food waste and diapers and all that stuff. That's going to go in a garbage bag and in the garbage can. Whereas like trash, you can separate it between burnable and non-burnable trash. So you can like use your paper and burn it, make ash, and then you can use that for what Carrie's going to talk about, which is your other waste. And you can just be super creative. And then another thing I thought was kind of cool is like things that aren't burnable, like your metal cans, styrofoam, plastic, you could crush those up and store them away until the garbage resumes. And then another idea is to make your own compost out of leftover, vegetable and fruit peelings and eggshells and all that kind of stuff, and make your own compost. And you can actually put paper in that, and then it will make a nice compost for your garden. And we'll turn some over to Carrie's.
Okay, yeah, sanitation, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So I just want to reiterate that I'm gonna move this over. The second emergency after an initial disaster is disease outbreak, and that wouldn't be any fun. So It's important that we gather sanitation supplies, including 1 month or more of toilet paper. We experienced that with COVID. Feminine hygiene products, hand sanitizer, paper towels, garbage bags, and cleaning supplies. And I love that picture that Amy had up there with the diapers, and I'm kind of skipping to the last of my thing, but they talk about how just with sewage or body waste, that even babies, you have all those disposable diapers that in a situation where it's contaminating or smelling or whatever, go back to disposable diapers. And back in the day when I had my first kids, we did disposable diapers. And so, but there's so many better
cloth diapers?
I mean cloth diapers, I'm sorry. Yes, cloth diapers. They're so much better than they were back in the day, 35 years ago, when we did them. And so you might want to think about that if you have little ones, or you have or just stock up on a lot of disposable diapers, but also get cloth diapers as well. Amy mentioned, supplies. You need supplies for doing laundry and dishes by hand, all that. Okay, so if we have an earthquake or something like that, we don't want to flush the toilets because all of a sudden our water system the pipes could be broken in the ground or whatever. So even if you're thinking, I'll just pour a little water in the toilet, it'll take a gallon or two, and we need to save our water reserves for other things. So just, I didn't bring it, but you can put it online, the Be Ready website. You can put a racquetball with shortening in it in a tube sock, pump out your toilet so it's pretty dry, and then shove that sock down, because we could get sewage coming up our pipes, and that's just no fun, right? So they even said, we'll have a lot of water storage in our water heaters, but we don't want to do that because we need to save those for drinking, possibly. Okay, so
Can I jump in too and
yes.
just say really quick with that sewage, if the sewer line is broken or something, and people do try to flush, everything has to have grade, right, to go down. Yeah. So the people at the top will probably be okay of the hill.
So
but
flush.
the people at the bottom, if they flush up there and there is an issue, it will come down.
We'll
and
blame it
start
on the bishop.
Come up and
Come down to the code.
Bishop's
what you're
house.
saying.
Yes.
it will come up in others. So
Watch out.
plugging your drains in your toilets, even your drain in your utility room, is
Yes.
about a 2-inch drain. If you undid that, because you could have sewage come up in that
Yeah,
as well.
bathtub,
So
showers.
plugging up all those drains so that
Yeah.
that sewage doesn't come up again in that event if it is broken or something like that.
Yeah. And
So the
we
reason
don't
you
know.
put the sock on the tennis ball or whatever ball is so you can get the ball back out when things go back to normal, because you got to have something to pull.
So it needs to kind of
make
stay
sure,
just those nice
make
little
sure you can
plug.
pull that
Yes.
out.
Yes. Good. Thanks, Zoe. Okay. Don't go behind a tree. I'm just saying that, right? If you go camping, hunting, that's different. But when you have a community that you have 100,000 people just going outside or whatever, that's going to contaminate the groundwater. Says putrefied waste is when urine is mixed with solid waste. It's the most toxic substance on earth. We don't have the ability to deal with it when there's a disaster. It contaminates groundwater, brings in critters, vermin, insects, all that, which causes illness. Okay, so on the Be Ready, it mentioned 4 plans you could do. You could dig a hole, which we often do, camping or whatever, cover it up. The second one is bag your waste. But how many bags do you have, and what do you do with those bags if there's no trash pickup? Okay. If you have a camper or trailer, sometimes you're like, I can go take it to the dump station. But if there's 1,000 people in line and they're shutting down the dump stations, they just might be pulling over the side of the road and dumping their waste on a hillside or into the river. No, we can't do that. So, okay. And then the fourth was trying to just kind of put some water in the toilet and trying to just flush a little bit. We're not going to do that. So, the best option is the 2-bucket system. And so these 5-gallon bag or buckets are awesome because you can have that's our number 2, so our poop, and then your urine. So when the kids or whatever use the bathroom, the suggestion was that you can keep it in like your bathroom, your utility room or whatever. Don't necessarily take it outside. We still have a house, hopefully. And then kids, teenagers, adults, we just kind of feel safe. Just put them in the bathroom. For urine, because it is so, it'll just kind of evaporate or whatever, you don't necessarily need to line the bag, but get one of these little porta potty seats, if I can open it now. You know, it'll snap on the bucket, and then you can just empty it, but make sure you clean, like you wash it out after every use. So you can go dump it in gravel, rock, dirt, and it really is fine, right? Until if you do both, it totally contaminates it. So urine is awesome. Just don't dump it in a pavement where it would collect or, you know, just sit and still. On waste, you want to line a bag, and these are 8-gallon bags on 5-gallon buckets, and you can just order them from Amazon. These have 90. I think maybe they were $10 a box, but do the same thing. And Noelle said, hey, make sure, or you could get colored buckets for going number 1, you know, red for number 2 for kids.
On the
Lid, yeah, number 1, number 2. And then, so once that's snapped on, the suggestion was kitty litter. But kitty litter, and I don't have cats, but kitty litter's a little expensive, I would think. Lime, when I was at girls camp in New Mexico 50 years ago, we had to dig our own latrine. So we did it. We put the lime powder, we, you know, used the restroom, covered up. So that Be Ready suggests that, you know, you have your bucket of kitty litter. You put a scoop in the bottom, and little kids, you know, they can, whatever. You use the bathroom, and then you put it on top again. So really what kitty litter does is it dries out the waste. So once that is dry, you can totally go bury it. Now, a lot of us have bigger yards around here. If you're in a condo or a little apartment, or your college kids are, they can't go dig a hole. But if you choose on your land to dig a hole, it needs to be, I think, 70 feet from a structure. 200 feet from a structure.
So it's like 70 big stuff.
Okay, so you could build a 2.5 to 3 foot hole, and you could totally put your dried waste in the bag, buried in the hole, right? Covered up with kitty litter. Or if you don't want to deal with that, you can get up probably to a 30-gallon trash can, because it gets too heavy. So you could just put this in your garage or whatever, and you take, you know, you just go take it. I'm not probably going to do this every single use, but I probably 2 or 3 times as the kitty litter's in there, you know, tie it up, drop it in the bag. And then when you have a chance, when Alpine City or whoever says, this is our plan, because I'm not sure what our plan is, where to dispose of the waste, but that will keep it, you know, for a few days. Any questions on that?
Is ash?
Ash,
Is that-
yes, kitty litter, ash, lime. Oh, you can get lime, a 50-pound bag at Tractor Supply in, I called Saratoga Springs. It's $4 for a 50-pound bag. And they use it for, yeah, lime. You just sprinkle it, do the same thing as kitty litter. I think I spent $20 on this box.
Is that lime or is that kitty?
It's kitty litter. But yeah, and I was trying to order lime online, and it was $40 for a 50-pound bag. But Tractor Supply, $4. I tried to call the Salem one. I couldn't get through to them, but Saratoga Springs has it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, kitty litter dries out waste. Then you can bury it. Okay, urine doesn't. Okay. Oh, peat moss is also a good one for layer sawdust, ash, lime. And make sure if you do the big garbage can, you do the same thing. You put your bag, the waste, everything. Then you put more kitty litter, ash, whatever, and you just layer it so it keeps stacking up. Oh, that's my timer. Okay, so did I cover it all? Okay, and if you have this, You need to make sure you secure it to a pole, a rope. Make sure the lid fits on tight. So, you know, we have all our squirrels and dogs and whatever, that it doesn't tip over. That will be really gross. So anytime you have a big hole in your ground with the waste and the kitty litter, they say all that is good for the earth. So you have a really good garden spot after a few months, you know. But okay, I think I'm done. There's
So,
it.
so Carrie, with that one, do you just go and dump it out then in a hole in your backyard?
When,
And then
yes,
you
when
reuse
you
it again?
can. When it's like, this is just maybe, I don't know.
So, and what do
How
you
many
do with
days
the
supply?
trash bag? You save
You,
it,
no, you keep it. They say a lot of the trash bags now
so
are
you don't
made
bury
with.
it. You don't bury the trash bag.
No, you
You
do.
do
You
Why?
do.
You can get trash bags,
They're
and that's
The
that are
bio-
biodegradable.
Yes.
That's what I got.
They're making
They
them
are,
with
they are,
biodegradable.
those that say they're biodegradable,
or not.
turn it into microplastic. It just deteriorates in. Sharp.
Okay, Shirley.
Okay, I've
Sorry.
got one thing to add to
yes.
this. There is a product called poo powder that kills the pathogens in your poop.
And it's better than the kitty
And
litter.
it's better than the kitty litter. Kitty litter just dries it out.
And it's actually
It
what they
kills
put.
the germ, it kills
And the odor?
germs and the odor.
Okay.
And it is absolutely safe to put in the trash, you know, when they come and collect it. It's
Okay.
the same stuff that they put in,
Diapers.
well,
The
when you're backpacking, the, wag bags, or what's the other names of the stuff? But it's the same stuff that is in those. And they.
Poop powder.
It's called poo powder.
Okay.
You can get it on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.